Hi everyone, I'm Suzanne. I'm an energy healer and teacher, and Spirit has told me to share my insights from meditation and my channeled writings for the next 7 days. So this is day 1 of that. I have really been on a quest to follow my inner guidance and my intuition to the most extreme extent that I can, and so this is part of that. Last night before I went to bed, I was feeling a little bit of constriction in my heart, and kind of like my emotions were a little dulled down, and I realized that, there's this situation with my lover where, I'm feeling I think I'm feeling cautious of getting hurt because I was feeling a lot, and as a result, I kind of energetically was shutting my heart a little bit to prevent any future pain. And really the feeling of being in love is just when both people have their hearts wide open and the energy can flow freely. That's my theory, at least, of what being in love is. So I noticed that I was having a little bit of constriction and that my feelings were kind of dulled because a part of me was scared of getting hurt again. And so before I went to bed last night, I asked my guides, angels, and my highest self to take me to the healing place of light and sound, and to give me a healing that would help me keep my heart open even through painful moments. And also I asked the flower Bleeding Heart to be with me. That's one of my favorite flowers to work with because its frequency is one of keeping your heart open even through times of pain or turmoil or whatever. It helps you stay open and stay in the energy of love. And so when I woke up this morning, I was feeling a little better, but I was still feeling kind of off. So I did my usual morning thing. I grounded myself, I cleared my energy off, cut my cords. And then the urge that I was having was to self-pleasure. And I was like, I'm trying to meditate right now, but I guess if this is what I need right now, then let's go. So I proceeded with that, and the message that I was getting was that you can use to clear out these blocks. So as this was happening and I was having this knowing, I started to have some pretty vivid visuals. I could see him and I could see the cords between us. There was one from our third eye, one from the heart, and one from the sacral chakra. And I started being able to see those, and then I saw violet flame, which is an energy that we use in energy healing to clear off old energies and transmute things. And I was just getting the impression and the reminder that you can grow through love, you can grow through joy, you can grow through pleasure. And I'm always asking for that, but I've never tried using something like this in that way. But it was like, you said you wanted to grow through pleasure, here you go. And so I started seeing this, this violet flame between us. And then as I got closer, there was explosions of energy. As there was explosions of energy within me, I saw it on the cords between us, breaking up any energy that was blocking, and also like in my chakras, breaking up the energy that was blocking there. So that was pretty wild. And I also saw it on my timeline. And so the way I typically see timelines and energy healings on myself or other people is kind of like a thick white cord going in either direction. And so the things from my past would be behind me, future in front of me. And this energy was radiating out at the peak through the timeline and clearing essentially the blocks to deeper love from my past and in my future at the same time. All of this is kind of happening simultaneously in my head. And so not only was this a really powerful energetic experience, like I was overwhelmed with this feeling of just like deep love and joy and sweetness. But also physically, it was very powerful. It was a strong peak. And so I thought that was so cool that this was a way that we could use to break up these energies and remove these blocks. And it's so appropriate in love that it would be that. So, when Spirit told me to share my meditations for 7 days, and you're going to start tomorrow, I was really excited last night. And then this happened, and I immediately felt like, oh man, this is going to be the first thing I'm sharing. But you know what? It is what it is. and I'm here to be transparent, so that's why I'm on this journey. And so after that, I had a really specific heart-opening meditation that I wanted to do that I saw online yesterday, but I had fallen asleep before I finished it. So I proceeded to do that, and it actually turned out to be going into like a field of flowers. And my healing modality is I healed people with the energies of different flowers. So that was so resonant for me, and I was like, oh, that's really sweet. This is the one I was drawn to, and look how relevant it is. And so we got into the space of the flowers, and then it was like, okay, someone is going to come forward now. And of course it was my lover. That's who I had been focused on, so that's who came. And I immediately felt like the feeling of our love at its peak, you know, like the best moments. I felt it. It was there. It was so present with me. And I was like, yes. Like, not only are the blocks cleared, but this feeling is possible all the time. And that's been one of the biggest lessons for me in relationship this year, has also been that the feeling of being in love is something you can access anytime on your own. And that is kind of our natural state. It's just reminding you. And so that was really beautiful to access that feeling and be like, remember, that's never gone. It's about opening. When you constrict out of fear or anything, you are blocking not just the bad feelings, but also the good feelings. So it was just a reminder to myself that like, oh, this is right here, and it has nothing to do with anyone else. It's you closing to what's available in life. And so that was really beautiful. And then there was some mention of the cosmic energies in this meditation, and I saw my freckles as like stars, and I was like, oh, it is me and I'm it. And I felt really connected to everything. And then I had this intuition to ask the planets to download the energies into me that were most beneficial to my path and my goals at this time. My goals being to open my heart more every day. That's one of my biggest spiritual practices, is to live life with my heart wide open. And that's kind of, I mean, that's what Tantra is. There's a lot of things in Buddhism about that. It is the practice of being open to all of life and letting it flow through you, whether it's positive, negative, whatever. So in that moment, I realized that, you know, astrology, all these transits and certain planets are stronger at some times and stronger than others, which is why we kind of go through these collective transformations and themes. But in that moment, I realized I could ask the planets to give me the energies that were most beneficial to me right now, to abundance, to opening my heart, and to clarity. I'm also coming into being a medium, so having a more clear channel is one of my things that I'm like working on right now. And so I did that. You know, we're not at the mercy of the cosmos. Just like everything else, we're all in collaboration. So we contain all the frequencies within us, which is actually how flower essences work, is they're really just activating a frequency that's already within you. So this is the same thing. The planetary energies are energies that are already existing within you, and they're just kind of highlighting certain things, shining a light on them. So I do think that you can ask for, you know, certain downloads like that. It just never really occurred to me until today. So that's a cool, interesting practice. So then in the meditation, we were still across from the person that's come forward, and it was like, okay, now a flower from this garden is going to come closer. And the flower that came up for us was a purple iris. And I love irises. They have like a special place in my heart, because when I first started doing flower healing, irises was one of the first flowers that would always come to me, and it just has like a very great sweet energy for me, and it's kind of nostalgic, so I was happy to see it there. But the main energy that I know that iris is associated with is creativity. So I looked it up, and it said iris helps with a lack of a belief in our capacity to create, and blocking expression because of an unwillingness to share it with others, which is kind of what this whole quest of this, posting my meditations is. So that's fascinating. Cultivating beauty within so you can better express it to the world. Soulful creativity, revitalizing connection to divine guidance, and your true passions, and rebalancing any disharmony. And so I thought that was really beautiful and aligned with, the specific shifts that I'm working on concerning, expressing more of myself and also my channeling. So I was like, oh, that's very cool. I closed that out, and then I went into my own healing space. I regrounded myself, refreshed myself, called back my own energy, and I was seeing that that was a big part of what I was going through as well, to keep calling my own energy back into my body and be present with it. And so then I felt the urge to do a channeled writing. So I connected to my highest self, and this is the message that came through. It said, every day is an opportunity to meet more of you. As your essence pours in, the shifts are not defined clicks anymore. It's a steady stream of constant becoming, unveiling. There will be moments of grief as your soul downloads into your body, displacing the identity of this life. The stretch of becoming. The cocoon must crack for you to emerge. The pain is in the grasping, clinging of the mind to what was your perceived self and future. Surrender. This is the key to your longing for soul connection as well. The heart will remain open when you are solidly grounded in the present moment. When your thoughts pull you to the future, ground and call your energy back from other timelines. Do it live in that moment as you relate. Feel it in your body. Smell, take in every detail. In that moment, you see your paramour with fresh eyes. Just as you accept your own constant stream of deaths and rebirths, you accept theirs. Honor and cherish the version of them that's emerging in that moment. Enjoy love for what it is when it is. Don't trap the butterfly in the jar of your projections and preconceived notions. How blasphemous it feels to consider doing this to another, yet it's permitted and even encouraged for yourself. And then I saw an image of just like throwing a jar on the ground and breaking it. When you stay fully present in your body, full of yourself, not disassociating in order to avoid the pain of being fully witnessed, this creates a field where another can do the same. A frequency that acts as a safe zone for soul expression and rapid becoming. Make that your priority. Healing is not separate. When the essence fills the body, one remembers their natural state, vibrant health and ecstasy, the bliss of one bare soul witnessing another. That is the love you seek. Stay present in love. So I thought that was really beautiful, and it was a really good point about when you are in a moment and you start to feel pain or separation or closing, just come back to the moment. Because most likely what's causing you that feeling is some thought of the future or some thought of the past, and you're leaking your energy into that alternate timeline where, whatever this doomsday scenario you're imagining happens or whatever. So in that moment, you call your energy back and re-download it into your body and say, no, we're in this timeline and we're going to make this the highest timeline. Let's bring it back and step onto the highest timeline. That's where we are. We're not scattering everywhere. So I thought that was really cool, and that it said to do it in the moment. Because whenever I read that, I immediately saw like, okay, in a conversation live when you're with someone, that's when this is happening. That's when you're starting to, shut down. And so I thought that was really cool. And then the part about not disassociating in order to avoid the pain of being fully witnessed. It is very vulnerable to be fully witnessed, but that's where all the good stuff lies. You know, having someone witness your soul is the feeling of being in love, like that connection. And so if we can't open to that, we can't have the juiciest feelings in life. We can't have that. We can't have tantric awakening, soul downloads, your gifts. All of it is about opening. And yet you have to use discernment in situations of when to close certain chakras. That's part of energetic hygiene. But for the most part, you know, there's a lot for us to receive. We're kind of, you know, channeling cosmic energy and the energy of our own soul, bringing it into 3D reality and creating something in 3D reality with it. You know, whatever it is that you create, that's what you're doing. You're essentially channeling. So being more open to that and being able to open to other people and feel who they are is such a huge gift. So yeah, this was my meditation for today and my interesting practice. So like I said, I will be doing this for the next 7 days and sharing what comes up for me in meditation and any channeled messages that I received. Take what resonates, leave the rest. And if you're interested in following along, please follow me on here. You can follow me on Instagram if you like. That is my other main platform. And yeah, if anyone's had any similar experiences they want to share, feel free to drop them in the comments. And yeah, see you tomorrow.